we're going to try to clean up the UI that we have so far before we expand functionality and expand sort of the back-end features of this. So let's take a quick look at this. At the beginning of the prompt, I'm explaining that we have an existing Notes app. It's got the basic functionality, tags, smart filtering, and then, of course, the sorting and filtering on dates. And now I want to focus on UI cleanup and then some of the goals I note. Make the app feel like a real product, not just a demo. Improve the clarity and visual polish of the app, and prepare the app for future important summarized features. So requirements here. So on the note model itself, data model, we want to make sure everyone has an ID, a title, content tags, created at, and updated at. And we kind of talked, I mentioned this, I think, before, is that we have the content for each note, but there's not really a title feature. And maybe that's not 100% necessary, but it seems like a nice, more professional polish. In addition to that, we want to be able to add clear title input above the content text area. Use the title as the primary identifier for the note. Still keep the UI minimal and clean. Then in the list view of the UI, this is basically where the notes are listed out. We want to display the title, followed by a short preview of content, 1 to 2 lines, truncate if necessary, tags if they're present. And we want to replace the buttons, the text on the buttons, edit and delete. With icons, we want a pencil icon for edit and a trash icon for delete. We want to be able to hover and over each icon and have little tooltips that say edit and delete in case there's any question to the user. And then, of course, like to add a delete confirmation. That is just, are you sure? In the detail view, meaning if you need to expand the note to get all the details, we still need to show the title, show all the content below it, and then, of course, the tags. Then, an extra polish. We want to improve the spacing and visual hierarchy. We want to add simple empty state, so if no notes exist, we want a nice little message. And of course, keep the styles consistent with what we currently have. Constraints, we do not want to introduce any new UI libraries, so we don't want to add a bunch of heavy outside code to this. We want to avoid any large refactoring of what we have, so we really just want to make additions and minor changes. Keep changes very incremental. Preserve existing filtering and sorting behavior. And then finally, down here at the bottom, the deliverable. We want to implement the UI changes, update any necessary data handling, and briefly then explain what was changed and why. So pretty straightforward, but also very detailed. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to start. Let's see. I'm just trying to get status. Yep, it's all clean. So then I'm going to paste the prompt in, same prompt we just read through. And now we'll let the AI agent do its work inside of Cursor. We can see that it's making some changes to the index.js. So it appears to be adding title as an attribute to pass back and forth from the backend. Now it's editing the app.jsx. And you can see the same thing where it's updating title. Looks like it's updating the icons. Now it's giving sort of that friendly message when there are no notes. Now it's updating the CSS. So the style sheet for all the new things that it's added. Great, and it's summarizing everything that it's done. And of course, it shows us 3 files that have been modified. So let's just come over here. All right, let's see. We've got a note title. We'll say clean up UI will be the title. And then we'll put for the note content 1, we're going to replace text on buttons. So edit and delete with icons, pencil, and trash can. And then 2, we're going to add friendly message when no notes. Let's see. 3, add delete confirmation. We'll leave it at that for now. And then down here, let's put features, clean UI. Yeah, we'll go with those. All right, let's click add note. Great, so we've had it added down here at the bottom. You can see we have both the pencil icon and the trash can. And notice how we see cleanup UI as the title, but we only see number 1. And then we can click edit to see the whole thing. Save and cancel look nice. So one thing I don't love about this is I can't find a way to expand and get all the details of the node without clicking edit. Also, there's nothing to really tell me there's more to this node. So I think we need to say when there is more detail, no, I'm going to say more content to the node and is displayed in the list view, denote this by an ellipsis or clearly indicating there is more to the node, and provide a way to expand the viewable content to read all of the node without entering edit mode, but make sure the user can toggle it back to the collapsed view or auto collapse based on some criteria. Let's see what it gives us. See if it can figure that out. So as it makes changes sometimes, it causes errors to pop up since the web app page in the browser auto refreshes. But then once it adds all the necessary code, it corrects it, as you can see has happened here. So now it's sort of finishing and verifying some things. Great. So technically this gives what I asked for. We see that the ellipsis is present, hence we can show more, and then we can show less. One more thing, let's replace the text of show more and show less with some intuitive icon. And two, let's make the indicator that there is more content to the node clearer than just the simple text. You'll ellipsis, either make the notable in some way or use some other indicator that is more clear. Let's see what it comes up with. Now, I used clearer, and grammatically this is probably not best, but I used it purposely because I felt like actually communicating that way with the agent was more clear than the word choice that was more grammatically correct. I don't know that that's accurate, but nonetheless. Let's see. So I do like the arrowhead. I think that is fine. Still don't love the ellipsis. One, the textual ellipsis is still present. Two, I don't love the ellipsis. Any other ideas? And then we'll try to wrap this up. Definitely don't like that because the fade comes too early. The fade comes too early. Show more of the node in the preview before the fade occurs. So what this should do is move it down. Maybe we'll pick up the fade in bullet number 2 or something like that. No, not exactly what I was looking for. We'll see how it finishes this out. Now it wraps the text and appears to remove my new line. And there is also no fade at this point. Need to not modify the text of the note when doing this. So you can see how the original prompt worked honestly pretty well, but my subsequent prompts are a little too just conversational, perhaps. And so it's struggling a little bit to get exactly what I want, especially after we got past the ellipsis stage. So we'll see what it comes up with here. Right now it just looks like it's going to show everything. Let's add another note. We'll do 1, this is a test. 2, this is a second test. 3, this is a third test. 4, this is a fourth test. 5, this is a fifth test. 6th test. And 7, I'll stop here. 7th test. I suppose that's really not too bad, actually. We could attempt to pull it into just 2 lines of content. Reduce the preview area to just 2 lines of the content. Fade starts, and then we'll call it good. Good. I think that works, actually. Great. So all we did is clean this up. Status. Yep. We can say the things change. Get add dot. Great. Get commit dash m. Clean up UI. Great. And get status. I think we're good. All right, that concludes this demo, and we'll keep expanding from here.